Sometimes I think back to the first time I floated in the Dead Sea. I remember over the years, before I'd actually tried it, seeing endless photos of people who looked like they were sitting in a chair in the middle of the water, like reading a newspaper or a book. It blew me away. But I wasn't sure it was going to work for me. I wasn't even sure I wanted to try it. What if I sank like a stone? I was thinking about all this the other day when I was just trying to fall asleep. How difficult it can be to shut off my mind, to just float. I remember when we were sleep training our kids, how hard it was, even for a baby, to trust in their body's capacity to sink in, to just slip into the nothingness that's rest. When are we supposed to float in life? And when are we supposed to swim, or at the very least, tread water? How do we know when it's okay to let go? I used to pray like crazy for my kids to reach certain milestones, to accept certain values, to become a reflection of what I believed was best for them. I prayed so long and so hard, and I was sure that God was going to answer my prayers if I was persistent enough and I did it just right. And He did. It's just that sometimes the answer to my prayers was no, because no is also an answer. And no is a complete sentence. I think I misunderstood the concept of prayer in general. I thought it was like a vending machine. If I just said the right combination of words and focused long and hard enough, then the candy bar I selected would drop down. I'd get what I prayed for, what I paid for, regardless of whether it was right for me or not. I have since learned that prayer is more like a rope that the Almighty throws to a drowning swimmer, because by pulling on it, it yanks us out of the prison of our own fears and our delusion of control. It can remind us that we don't run the world, despite our best efforts, and it can help us float just long enough to make it back to shore. In some ways, learning to pray is like floating in the Dead Sea. You must trust that if you lift your feet, you'll be held up, that there's a buoyancy, that you need to relax a little, take in the scene around you without agitating it fruitlessly. And that refreshing pause often gives the space for some new thought to drop in, a gift from above. Prayer is sometimes just grabbing onto that rope and allowing ourselves to be pulled out of the crowded space that is our mind. In 12-step programs, they say, let go and let God. So, back to my question. When are we supposed to float in life, and when are we supposed to swim, or at least tread water? This is, for me, the most helpful prayer of all. If I can let go of the perception of control that weighs me down like stones in my pockets and simply pray for guidance, I often find the answers come to me, or are given or granted to me. That the trick is not asking for what I think I need, but to ask for guidance in dealing with that which I have, that which is right in front of me. In those same 12-step programs, there's a famous prayer called the Serenity Prayer. It goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And the difference is very much like knowing whether it's time to float or swim or tread. The swimming is our efforts in the physical world to reach the goal we had in mind. The treading is knowing when to stay put in our efforts without pushing forward in that instant. And the floating is the ability to just relax into the moment we face and are facing and just let it be.